they went to her and said, hey, can you help me out with this hormonal stuff? Like, I'm really embarrassed to talk about it. And she goes, oh, let me take you to our vitamin consultant. And brings them back to me. So yeah, I just, yeah, those are my stories. Thank you. Do I have?
Do you want to do another song? No pressure.
No pressure. No pressure, huh?
Maybe more stories too.
All right, let's take a poll. Do you guys want a serious song or another comedy song? Comedy? How did I know? How did I know? All right. All right, so this one, since I was on the point of Stephen Lynch earlier, this is the first Stephen Lynch song I ever learned and performed. And at the time, I was performing once a week at a hookah bar over on Secor Road when it was still there. And it was requested every week for 2.5 years. Every week I had to play this song for 2.5 years. And this doesn't really have much to do with the subject matter, but I couldn't really find another song about it. But so this is a Stephen Lynch song, and it is called If I Were Gay. Here we are, dear old friend, you and I, drunk again. Laughs have been had, tears have been shed. Maybe the whiskey's gone to my head. But if I were gay, I would give you my heart. And if I were gay, you'd be my work of art. And if I were gay, we would drown in romance. But I'm not gay, so get your hand out of my pants. Ooh. Ooh. It's not that I don't care, I do. I just don't see myself in you. Another time, another scene, I'd be right behind you if you know what I mean. 'Cause if I were gay, I would give you my soul. And if I were gay, I would give you my whole being. And if I were gay, we would tear down the walls. But I'm not gay, so won't you stop cupping my hand? Gotcha. We've never touched, we've never kissed. I've never been intimate with your fist. But you have opened brand new doors. Get over here and drop your
Stephen is here for live entertainment and for comedy and for great music. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
No worries. We will be back very soon for our manel where I talk to men and ask them questions about tampons. So no worries, you'll get more of him. But in the meantime, we're going to take it down to a little bit more serious level once again. We are going to have my dear friend Zaynab come up and share a story about menstruation. And we also have to thank Zaynab tonight for pulling this event together in Toledo, for organizing it, for contacting Bleak House, for basically like doing everything because I'm in Columbus. So shout out to Zainab, and also shout out for sharing this story.
Hi guys, my name is Zainab, and today I will be sharing with you a story. It's a little on the serious side, and it's written by Mary Claire Chuja. She's a founder of False Labels Global Incorporated, and she is basically what Claire is going to become in like 20 years. So she's super cool. She runs an international incorporation, and she's running the world right now. So this is her story. My first period. I was sleeping in bed with my sister, and in the morning I realized the blood had stained the sheets and all of my clothes. I didn't know what was happening. I searched for wounds on my body and my sister's, but there was no wound. I was horrified and panicked. I went to the bathroom, which was outside, and I sat down. I went to the bush and sat there for hours. Nothing had changed. I was freaking out. I was so ashamed, and I didn't know what to do because at this time I had just turned 13. I had just turned 13, and I'd never heard of menses from anyone before. Menstruation was not a thing in my life. My mother never talked about it to us. We had a domestic science class in primary school, but we were mostly taught how to cook, do things in the home, bake, economics. Nothing that was vital to me growing up. Finally, I left the bush where I was hiding, and I sneaked into my bedroom through the back door of the house. The whole family had been searching for me the entire day. I was wandering around, and they were wondering what was happening to me. So desperately, to stop the bleeding, I cut a chunk of foam from our mattress and held it to me, but it only held the blood for a short period of time. I tried cutting a piece of cloth to do an experiment with. What was this that has befallen of me, I had asked myself. Could it be that someone had placed a curse on me? I was angry, I was frustrated. I managed with foam and cut pieces of cloth until the third day, and it suddenly stopped. All the while, I didn't tell my mother. I didn't tell anyone. A few months later, I got pregnant. My menses stopped immediately. I was so happy that it stopped, but I didn't understand. I didn't know that I was pregnant. I also didn't know anything about the process of pregnancy. When I gave birth to my son at home, my mother gave me a piece of cloth to use. But when we got to the hospital, the midwives asked, "Madam, where's your pad?" And of course, I didn't know what a pad was because I had not seen one before. My mother handed over them some rags she had in her bag, but they insisted on using sanitary pads. This was expensive, but my parents had no choice but to buy some pads to use for me during the postpartum period. School days. When I started school a year later, I had no access to sanitary pads. Cut pieces of cloth continued to be what I used. Even in secondary school, there was no discussion on menstrual hygiene. As a matter, it continued to be a taboo. It was common practice to see girls menstruating tying black sweaters around their waists to hide their stained uniforms. Myself and many other menstruating girls were mocked and laughed at by boys, and even some other girls who didn't have their periods yet, or from those who were from rich homes who could afford sanitary pads. Unfortunately, these taboos that are rooted in assumptions that menstruating girls and women are somehow polluted, marginalizes them, and poses a serious setback to women's education and professional development. Menstruation in the developed world. When I traveled to study in the United States, I realized that menstruation was not a taboo subject. I also noticed that all types of brands and sanitary products were available, where I could choose from wherever I wanted, and they were affordable. I started to study more about my body and even got into nursing school because I was so curious to learn more about the woman's body and why menstruation is treated like a taboo in my country. All women deserve a a shame-free relationship to their periods, regardless of socioeconomic circumstances. I am well on my way to turning years of scars and shame into empowerment. And I will end here with this quote. It takes a lot of time, focus, and energy to realize the enormity of being the ocean with your very own tide of the month. However, by honoring the demands of our bleeding, our blood gives something in return. The crazed bitch from irritation hell recedes. In her place arises a side of ourselves whom we may not first be comfortable with. She is vulnerable, highly perceptive, genius, who can ponder a given issue and taken her world by storm. When we're quiet and bleeding, we stumble upon the solutions to dilemmas that have been bugging us all month. Inspiration hits, and moments of epiphany rumba across the tundra of our senses. In this mode of existence, one does not feel apathy towards a body ritual so profoundly routine, it forces our cunt power. Inga Musio, cunt, a declaration of independence.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm glad we can talk about menstruation, sing about menstruation, laugh, cry, feel. 50% of the population feels menstruation. And remember, that's why we're here tonight, to be able to surface it, to talk about the elephant in the room. We are now going to take a quick little intermission, but no worries. Come back right after intermission. We're going to have our manel, where I ask men questions about menstruation, and it's going to be super fun. In the meantime, feel free to grab some more coffee, support Bleak House, buy some t-shirts, buy some little ovary badges, make a donation to Aunt Flo, because once again, this supports what we're doing, our buy one, give one subscription model for Aunt Flo. And of course, you can learn more about us at auntflo.org. We have a little information card up there. So break, and we will be back soon. Yes. Woo. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna. Good call.
Oh, thank you. Yes, girl, yes! Yes! I'm trying so hard not to cry. I know.
This is perfect spot. I'm probably gonna be a mess like tomorrow.
Right.
Like something happens when like women are around each other.
It's also Mercury retrograde, so like
You're feeling it already.
I want to get my period because I want to rationalize all of the feelings right now, but it's not happening. It's not happening. It'll happen. It'll happen. I promise you, it'll happen. It happens. Yes!
As you're doing this, the color is red because got it?
I got it. Here, let me check them. All right.
Is that what I'm saying?
We are creating the stereotype that we all know each other.
Right.
But yeah, I get it. The light is just blurry. Like, okay. You ready? Okay, it's like 3. Those are better. Those are better. Are we going to the drag show? If you guys get it, dead. Yeah. Alright, so. Is it okay if I shoot a little bit? Or, okay.
mention one up here. And Ishmael.
Yeah, Orlando. Nice to meet you. Hey, nice to meet you. Hey, nice to meet you.
I like your music.
Thank you. That's not the kind of song that I usually play. I'm usually very serious musician. Tonight I called for some comedy.
Okay, yeah.
But I've played a couple of comedy songs.
Oh, yeah? So you take it and you emulate a guitar.
Yeah, I play piano.
Yeah, really talented.
I actually play every Tuesday here downtown on the Michigan side.
Okay, like a street performance?
No, it's and every Tuesday from 8 to midnight we have open mics for poets, musicians,
Alrighty, friends, are we ready to come back together? Are we ready? Yeah? Oh yeah, okay, we're so ready. Okay, friends, this is now the time in the show where we have our gentlemen who are excited to talk about menstruation. I might have just put words in their mouth, I'm not exactly sure. Excited might have been a little bit extreme, but these are our fearless flow bros. So, people in the audience, if you're okay with talking about menstruation and you identify as a male, you can consider yourself a flow bro. If you're an aunt flow niece, if you're experiencing menstruation, you're an aunt flow niece. We are all nieces. These are our fearless flow bros. I'm going to be asking them some questions about everything that we don't really talk about in our normal day-to-day expressions. So, people in the audience, start thinking of questions that you want to ask as well, because these men have kind of signed up, partially signed up, more like I told them that they were going to be part of the panel. Get ready to ask them questions. So if there's things that are coming to your mind, like feel free to write it down, take a note in your phone. But we're just going to go in and start asking some questions, because that's what we do at OnFlow. We just make people uncomfortable, but for the good reasons, because we want to lessen the taboo. So to be able to lessen the taboo, first we need to make them uncomfortable. Okay, so I just want to, we've seen Steven, but he was a great musician, but I want to just go down, say your names, say like something about yourself, and how excited you are to talk about menstruation. All right, we're going to start down here.
I'm Steve, Amflo's dad, Claire.
That's my dad! I get to ask him all kinds of questions! Shout out to Dad! Yes.
And I'm really excited about talking about this. Way to go, Steve! All right!
He's blushing already. I love it.
Just to avoid confusion, I'm Orlando, and I'm very excited.
My name's Ish. I'm terrified.
He's back in the chair. He's like, I don't know. Yes. So Ish and I went to high school together. He's currently a student at the University of Toledo. Give a little background about yourselves if you'd like.
Soccer.
Yeah.
Just like sports or.
I'm a dancer.
Okay,
Yeah.
That counts.
all right.
Yeah.
Soccer's some footwork in there. We
Yeah.
move around.
I played soccer in like 2nd grade.
And then Dad, you're
Well, I'm not a dancer or a soccer player. Probably, you wouldn't want to see that.
he's a land surveyor. So he walks around and surveys land. Oh, that's okay. So I guess we'll just start out with a few like quiz questions, just to see how much these men know. And if you want, you can converse among yourselves and come to an answer. So I want to know, how long is the menstrual cycle?
Like, as a whole or at one time?
As a whole.
As a whole.
Just one session.
Like one cycle. Yes.
One
I like that. So many questions. Are they allowed to
don't want to talk. They need their help. Okay, do we have an answer?
Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay, so what is it?
5 days to a week.
No.
We're,
So the whole cycle is actually 28 days. Typically, women actually bleed. Women bleed for 5 to 7 days on average. But that leads us to a great follow-up question. So when women are actually bleeding, what is going on in the body? Like, what scientifically is happening?
Dark magic.
Okay, good guess.
Okay.
All right. Close. Do we have any other ideas?
well, just going back to my 8th grade health class.
Yeah.
It's when the body loses the eggs that are dead.
Okay.
And
Yeah. So like the line, the uterus line is shedding.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. There you go. Yeah. Good job. Okay. All right. So another question: can you get pregnant when you're on your period? When you're bleeding?
Yes.
Is that the consensus?
Use it, Dan. Yes.
That's the go-to.
You got cred.
Yes, you can actually get pregnant when you're on your period, but that's actually because sperm can live for a really long time in your body. So if you're doing it, and like the sperm just stays up there, but then afterwards your eggs might be ready, and then they attach, and then babies. So speaking of babies, and speaking of like period sex, have you guys ever had period sex?
Oh.
Don't ask your dad that.
Okay, all right. We'll start down here at Ish.
This is all new to me. I thought babies came from like cabbages. Okay, no, I have not.
Okay.
I have.
Okay, and give us some advice. Or like, do you like it? Like, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, at least in my experience, it's not much different except for the cleanup. You know?
Do you have any pro tips?
Just go down to the old pub instead.
Yeah, go down to the old pub instead, exactly. Yeah, that's my tip.
Okay. And Steve, what about you?
I'll say no, so I can get off easy like this.
Yeah.
Are you telling? Oh, we should have like sworn in, like tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. We want to know the grit, Dad. I mean, Steve.
Dad.
How did I happen?
How did I?
This is really a platform for me to ask my dad all the questions that I've always wanted to ask him.
That's it? That's what you really wanted to ask me?
Alright, Dad, I mean Steve, have you actually ever had period sex?
No.
Okay, so whatever. We'll go to the next question. We'll go to the next question. So Ishmael, to the left of you, if you turn around, you'll find some tampons. And you can take one out.
This isn't like sugar?
Sure. If you want to take one and pass one down, that'd be perfect.
All right, sure.
Oh, yes.
So sorry. Okay.
Good call.
Oh.
Speaking of the shelf, there's some really cool artisan goods that are made locally, so you should definitely check out the shelf. Shout out to the shelf.
Shout out to the shelf.
So these gentlemen are holding tampons. Ish looks like he's about to smoke it. But now that we're holding these, yeah, like with the shade, yeah. So I want to, if you want to explain how a tampon works.
Kind of like it.
Yeah, so I mean, Ish, do you want to start?
You open the bag.
Okay, so
good start.
start. Go ahead.
Okay.
You can show us.
All right.
Show us. Demonstrate.
It's a demonstrate, right? So,
And don't start taking your pants off, man.
yeah. So maybe the best way to demonstrate is like there's a nosebleed, right?
Sure.
Sure. I've actually never seen one of these, so I'm very curious of how these things look like. Quite frankly.
Suspense.
Yeah, y'all waiting. All right, well, this is interesting. I wasn't expecting this. It kind of looks like a rocket.
Yeah.
Hey, go Rockets. Go UT. Let's go. Let's go.
There's your plug.
Yeah.
Rocket's new mascot.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so explain what you're doing. Talk us through this.
Dude, I have no idea. Like, I literally don't know. Like,
Okay,
well, I just pulled out the thing. It looks like it's a syringe,
okay.
right? So,
Steve, do you want to pick it
Yeah.
up from here? Pick it up from here.
go, Steve.
So, so we have the package.
I'm with Ishmael. You take the package off.
Right.
Yeah.
So we agree on that. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're right. We're both
Okay.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's
So
all get to that point.
we're on a consensus
Okay.
that you don't just shove the whole package up. Good.
Okay. You take it out of the
Which has been a
package.
lawsuit before. That's why they have to say unpackaged.
So you throw this away and use this?
Okay, so we've gotten to the point where we've unpacked it. What happens next?
You go for it, bro. You got it. You got it.
The dancer. Yeah. Okay, so where are we at, gentlemen? So there's a whole plastic thing. What happens with the plastic? Where does the cotton go?
Claire, I'm here because I'm your friend. You know? Like, let's not lose this friendship over this.
Okay, all right. So Orlando, why don't we try to? I think you.
Oh!
You're
Oh my God! Okay, so what just happened was Steve at the end here just like had some cotton emerge. So where did that cotton go?
I would imagine it goes up to the shoulder.
He said it!
Guys!
And then there's an extra plastic piece. Where do you think that plastic piece goes?
I don't know. If they stay together.
Do they stay together? The plastic stays up there too? Do we have any other ideas?
I think the plastic goes.
Goes?
Just a thought.
Okay.
Okay. Yes. So the plastic does go, but this is a teaching moment for OnFlow products. First of all, our products are 100% cotton. So the little part up here, this is 100% cotton. Normally, like Playtex and Kotex, it's not 100% cotton. They're bleached with chlorine. There's some additives. They make it like white with weird substances. And also, the plastic isn't 100% biodegradable, and ours is.
Woo!
Yay! Yes. Okay. So great job, gentlemen. We kind of got through that. If you're smelling it, how does it smell?
It smells like tissues.
Have you ever used a tampon for nosebleeds?
No.
All right, so this is going to be where we're a little bit more creative. I want each of you to come up with an idea on how to use tampons in a different way. So maybe, like we already have nosebleeds, so that's off the table. Like, what is a fun way for us to use tampons?
Decoration.
Oh, decoration! I like it! Yes! Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I feel like Bleak House might be able to use this. I mean, like, I don't know. It looks like a tea bag almost, like the little thing dangles off the
Oh!
side.
Yeah, new tampon
Yeah.
I don't
tea
think you want to
bag.
steep a tampon.
Like just like cut off the thick part and just use the long stringy part. I mean, if the things ever those things tear, you gotta
These
replace
ladies
it.
are looking at you like, start a new business.
Yeah.
Do you have any others?
Well, I think you could load this into a 12 gauge.
Like a gun? Shoot people with like tampons? Yeah! Watch out, Iraq! Here we go! Yes. All right. Well, that was great. Way to go, gentlemen. So I'm now going to open it up to the audience. You guys might have been thinking of some questions. And I want you to fire away. So anybody have any questions? All right, yeah, we got one over here.
What do those taste like?
Oh, he asked. Who's going to try it?
Women don't even taste.
They're 100%
There you
Well,
go.
I mean, if it smells like
No.
tissues, it probably
Only one way to
tastes
find
like
out.
Okay.
Right, you guys.
You got it, bro. You suggested it. You got it.
He's excited. Do we have any other questions? Oh, okay. Yes, let's hear it. Oh.
And what is the consequence, or could be potentially the consequence of
been too long? Let's hear it, boys.
I would think you'd just be ready for the next cycle then.
Wait, maybe we should take it a step back. So, how many tampons does a woman use in a typical cycle? Suspecting that she only uses tampons, because there are other options. There's pads, there's sea sponges, there's like mattress, whatever. Yeah, sea sponges.
Menstrual cups.
Menstrual cups, yeah. So there's some different options. But let's say that she's just using tampons. How many tampons does she use in one cycle?
3.
3? 3! Okay, we got 3!
I guess it depends on how long she's bleeding, right?
So we assume that she's bleeding 5 to 7 days a week.
Yeah, so 5 to 7 days. Like,
Say what she uses one
it would
tampon
be
each day.
1 tampon each day, so 5 to 7.
I don't know about you ladies, but I use like 4 in a day.
Well, that's why you send out 12 every month.
Well, I send out 18 every month
18
because the
every-
average
okay.
is 18 tampons per
Okay.
bleeding situation.
We should have known that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Okay, so
but
yes.
I do know the answer to the second half of the
Can you use
question.
them 2 at a time?
Oh. No. So to answer the question, do we want to
You
take
can
that one?
actually like build up bacteria and it can cause infections and
It can cause toxic shock.
yeah, toxic shock.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yes.
infections in the bloodstream.
Is that like a nuclear reaction or?
Nuclear reaction. There's like combustion going on in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have time for a few more questions? If anybody has like burning questions, this is your time. Yes, let's hear
If
it.
you know what menopause is.
Oh, menopause.
Actually, I do. I'm actually well educated in that.
Yeah, are you?
I'm actually not well
Menopause
educated.
expert.
No. Okay, I know a few things. It's like when a woman, she's like no longer able to like give birth, and it's usually her body goes like, through some intense heat.
Like
They just catch fire.
And it's usually when they're like a little bit older, they reach like a certain age, and that usually happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a huge hormonal shift, and the hormonal shift, like you stop having your cycle at that point.
Yeah. Man, these guys got that one on lockdown.
Yeah.
They're like,
Well,
yeah.
and actually, men go through a form of menopause as
Right.
well with hormones and everything.
Have you gone through it yet?
Oh no.
Steve, have you?
Midlife crisis?
Well, you know,
Yeah,
men
yeah.
have periods. Men have periods too. You know.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Okay, so it's so you
I
know
want to
like
hear this one.
yeah, like you know like guys they get moody too. Like we PMS too. Like we get upset. I mean that's like the extent of it.
Do you
And
know
it's-
why?
Well, okay, it's not so. Okay, it's different. It's not like a flow. It's more like a slow, and it's like. And if I were to start a new company, I'll call like Uncle Slow. It's usually when they get constipated. They get like there's a lot of like tension in their face. So. Yeah, fun fact. You guys are here to get educated too. Yeah. We're all learning.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, men can talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of tampons, we drink milk.
You drink milk.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
The laxative. Right. All right, back to tampons.
Yeah, I wanted
Just kidding. You don't have
Question
periods.
down here.
Yeah.
How much does it cost to buy like a box of tampons or a box of pads on average?
How much is a box of cigarettes?
His reference point was just a box of cigarettes. He put it out there, like,
6-pack of beer?
How much is that?
A gum's usually like $2. I mean, if you have like a pack of gum, there's 12 packs of gum. Let's say $12 for a pack of 12 tampons.
so $1 per tampon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, that'd be expensive in China. I mean, trust me, they're really expensive anyway. But do we have any other guesses?
I'm actually not sure.
Okay, so the average is around $7 for a box of tampons. Kind of depends on like the quality and like the brand, and if you're getting on brand or off brand. But the average is $7, and on flow is $13, and that includes shipping, and is valued at $50 per box because like you'll get free stuff in it as well. So cool stuff. Nice little segue there. Good question. Yeah, plug it. I love it. Yes.
What does PMS stand for, and what What
Oh.
hormones cause it?
Ooh, you just got like.
You got.
Well, you're the pre-med bio.
Oh, okay. I know everything now. I'm a doctor.
Make it in.
Right. I think PMS stands for post-menstruation symptoms.
I'm pretty sure that's not what it stands for.
Okay. I'm switching over to business. It's post something. Pre. Okay.
Premenopausal.
Menstruation. Pre-menstruation. Syndrome. Syndrome. Post-menstruation syndrome. Pre-menstruation syndrome.
Premenstrual syndrome. Is that
Menstrual?
what? Or wait, no.
It is. Yeah.
Premenstrual syndrome.
It's very rare,
Pre-stress.
but not very rare, but it's unusually women have premenstrual symptoms. There are some women who have
Pre-menstrual stress
stress.
syndrome.
Yes. All right. And what are some of the side effects? Like you might.
Physical and mental.
Yeah.
And emotional.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's hear it, boys.
All of it.
Spiritual.
Well, it's just like Steven's lyrics.
Read those lyrics again, Steve.
Well, I mean, obviously you have the bleeding, which comes from the lining
Shedding. Yeah.
shedding, and there's usually a lot of stomach cramps. Well, not stomach cramps, but cramps in the abdominal region.
He works at Bassett's. If you need some advice, hit him up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and obviously I need to do a little more research on this stuff. But abdominal cramps, and which in turn causes a lot of stress. And one of the most things that I talk to women about when they talk to me about that is their iron levels. Because they're bleeding so much, they let out a lot of iron, so they definitely need iron supplements. A lot of people are anemic because of it. And,
True stuff.
Good job.
Alright, well, we want to give these men a big round of applause because they just sat up there and like, oh my gosh, woo! A great job, gentlemen. You can step down if you want. Like, take your bows because we are super appreciative. And in fact, we are appreciative of all of you guys. This event couldn't have happened without, of course, Bleak House. Huge shout out to them again. Zainab. Thank you so much for putting this together. Thank you to all of our performers, and thank you to you guys, because quite frankly, this is possible with you. So just a reminder, you are interested in supporting OntFlow, you can visit ontflow.org, learn more about the mission. If you like an event like this and want to host your own where you're at, hit me up because we'll make it happen. Feel free to purchase some more badges like our OVA Achiever or some t-shirts. Make a donation on your way out because it all supports OntFlow. So check it out, and this is it. So thank you guys so much. Woo! Well, thank you guys for coming.
Good job.
Yeah, thanks for doing that. Yeah. I can take it.
Oh, I totally thought that was cheese.
Cheese?
Good job. Good job.
I know.
Good job, kid.
What do we got?